and welcome to Donald Mackerel Game with me, Donald Mackerel. I apologise for my voice in advance. I am quite ill, flued up as hell. There's also stuff going on in the background, but it relates to what we're about to talk to. So basically my partner's playing Horizon Forbidden West on the PS5, and they got me thinking, with the 30 years of PlayStation, what are the 30 best PlayStation exclusive games, in my opinion, games that I have played and games that I liked. I won't be, as a bit of a spoiler, including any PS5 games, including Horizon Forbidden West or the original Horizon, because the reason why I've not played this game is because I haven't played Horizon yet. So I thought I'd show off some of me PlayStation side of my collection behind me. I never normally do it. I do have quite a bit going way back, all the way to the PS1. PSP stuff up there as well, that you can't see it down here. I've got all my PS Vita, my farming blooming simulator. Got all my PS Vita rubbish. Yeah, so I have been collecting it for quite a while. Obviously recollecting it now as well, but it's going to be hard whittling it down to just 30 games. So we'll just go straight through the opening 20 games. I'll do a brief run through of what they are, but I'll go into more depth on my favourite, my personal favourite top 10 PlayStation exclusives.
Nice shot.
Sniper ambush. Oh, God damn it. God damn it, not now.
So, starting the top 10 off, we've got, I don't know if you'd call it a game, because the clue to what it is in the title. It's PT, which is playable trailer or playable teaser, I think it stood for. A Hideo Kojima game Basically, it was the unreleased Silent Hill game for the PlayStation 3. I think it was when Hideo fell out with Konami. And so he'd made that game as a proof of concept with Norman Reedus right at the very end as the spoiler, who was going to be the star of, I think it was called Silent Hills for the PlayStation 3. Yeah, never ended up getting made. And you might sort of say, well, how is a teaser or a trailer made it onto your top 10? It was, without a doubt, one of the eeriest games I have ever played. Looking back on it, it was nothing special, absolutely nothing special whatsoever. But I'd never seen anything like it before. I'd gone to Scotland to visit one of my friends, and I just remember he said, I've downloaded this for free, let's see what it's like. So we're there playing it late at night, having a few beers. Oh my lord, both of us just panicking and screaming in the middle of a cottage in like remote Scottish countryside. So yeah, definitely earns a spot in my top 10. And I think it paved the way for a lot of modern horror games. People have seen me play through Resident Evil 7 recently. That definitely draws a lot of inspiration from it. And obviously there's been a few games since. So yeah, number 10 is PT. At number 9, does it even need an introduction? WWE SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. One of the main reasons for me loving wrestling, obviously all the way back on the original PlayStation, you had SmackDown and SmackDown Just Bring It. But Here Comes the Pain was definitely the one that planted that seed in me to go, do you know what? Those first two, they weren't flashes in the pans. And they were good games. But Here Comes the Pain was definitely the best one. The amazing roster, the music, the matches that are no longer available on some of the modern wrestling games because of modern audiences don't find them too appealing. But everything about it. It was the first one that I proper remember doing the entire story mode of the game and getting really, really engrossed into it. And obviously it's the whole creating your own character and having fun with your mates in that sense. So it definitely took up a lot of time in my youth, and it definitely has to be in the top 10. So at number 9, SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. At number 8, probably the only Vita game that's going to surprise a lot of people to get into this list, but it's got in here mainly because of the music. The soundtrack was absolutely amazing. I remember having it on in my car. In fact, I'll have to include it in a future top music list. LocoRoco. I blooming loved LocoRoco. I adored everything about it. I loved the cutesy graphics. Like, very Japanese, wasn't it? Very Japanese. But also, it was one of the only games that I had on the PSP that made me say, I need a PSP. Other than that, it was just very much a watered down PS2, like a handheld PS2. LocoRoco made full use of the tilt-in function. So yeah, really, really enjoyed that. And definitely a game that needs to make my top 10 solely for the soundtrack, even though the gameplay was good. Number 8, LocoRoco. At number 7, definitely a game that needs to be on the list, even though it's not technically a PlayStation exclusive. There was a PC version of this available, but to me it's a PlayStation exclusive. It never appeared on any other consoles, and you guys would do me in if I didn't put it on the list. Metal Gear Solid, it's got to be, hasn't it? Metal Gear Solid. I say everything else from that appeared on like the Xbox and so on and so forth. Metal Gear Solid was a PlayStation exclusive discount in the PC. And what a game, what a game. It opened my eyes. I never knew the PlayStation could do things like that. I was still a Saturn fanboy back then. It was one of the ones where my mate showed it me and I went, yeah, all right. Yeah, PlayStation's won the war. So yeah, number 7, easily one of the best games of all time. Not just a PlayStation game, not just a best PS1 game. One of the best games of all time, Metal Gear Solid. So coming in at number 6 is the first one that's probably going to cause controversy in the comments. Not that I want it to. I genuinely think it's a fantastic game. I hope the people watching this think it's fantastic too. PlayStation 4 game, well, PSVR. It's Astro Bot Rescue Mission. It's not got there on a novelty basis. It's not got there because it's like, oh, there's not many good PSVR games. It was genuinely a really, really fun game to play. And it made the VR headset an essential piece of kit for me. I remember I'd played like Skyrim and didn't really get on with it. And I was thinking, oh my word, what's the point in this? It was the first game that made me say, blooming heck, this has got legs, this is going to work. It didn't, obviously. It flopped massively. But really, really fantastic game. And easy as well. Anybody can play it. I love the fact as well that there's secrets you can only find by like looking over your shoulder and things like that. Really, really good. Really, really fun game. I love me little platformer games anyway. So number 6 was Astro Bot Rescue Mission for the PSVR. Number 5, if we're going to be controversial, we might as well keep on being controversial. You guys are going to pan me for it. And again, I don't care. I love this game, and it definitely made up a huge part of my childhood. Is it a game, though? Number 5, MTV Music Generator 2. So it was literally what it says on the tin. You just make your own songs. Like, you can make music videos as well, even though they're not. It's just bits of stuff mashed together. It's not really you making a video. It's just something to go along with the songs you've made. But I remember at the time, the ability to sample all these different things and modulate your music in different ways was absolutely amazing. I used to be in bands and I'd use it for making demos. So I remember making like a full 23 song demo disc to show to people, and they'd go like, blimey heck, thinking I was some sort of PC wizard making all these amazing songs. No, did it all on a PS2. And I still, every now and then, whack it on the PS2 now and create a new tune. So yeah, definitely. Be careful if you slate me. Definitely has to be in the top 10. And for me, the top 5. So number 5, MTV Music Generator 2 on the PS2. Number 4, yet another game that isn't a game. We're getting onto a theme here. But you have the ability to make games on it. It's Dreams on the PS4. Quite an underappreciated gem, I would say. And there's maybe people that will say it doesn't deserve to be in a top 10. I think it does, because the amount of ingenuity and creativity that's come out of the back of that game. Just go online and look for some of the stuff that people have made. You can save yourself loads of money from going out and buying certain games, because people have completely recreated them in Dreams. And it's fairly simple to get into, ridiculously hard to master. Like, there's no way I can make some of the games that people are making out there. I think people have got jobs off the back of it as well. They've made jobs and been snapped up by companies because they've gone, holy hell, if this is what you can make using that tiny little bit of game making software, even though it's simplified software, imagine what you can do at a proper studio. So yeah, number 4, definitely Dreams on the PS4. Oh, we're in the top 3 now. It's getting touch and go. So if your favourite game hasn't been included yet, it may be that I don't like it, or it may be that I just haven't played it yet. I've got lots and lots and lots of games to go through. And so when the top 40 for 40 years of PlayStation games comes out, maybe it'll make the cut then, because maybe I'll have played it. But for our top 3, starting off with Tenchu 2 on the PS1. What a fantastic game. Again, you'll notice that I like games with creativity, games where you can do your own thing. Tenchu 2 had many ways to complete a level. You could do it stealthily, you could go in like a bull in a china shop, you could take everything out. Obviously stealth was the name of the game, but you could do it your own way, and there were multiple ways to be stealthy, which is what I really liked. Tenchu was good. Tenchu 2 was better for me. And of course it introduced the create your own level section, talking of creativity, where me and my friend would sit down for hours and hours every single day, just creating levels to fox each other, trip each other up, trying to make traps where you wouldn't be able to see them, or placing people just out of sight, and you'd have to work out a way to sneak round and stealthily do them in, so to speak. So yeah, number 3 of my top 30 PS games of all time, PS exclusives, Tenchu 2. Number 2, yet another PlayStation 1 game, and it's no surprise this has made the list. People know that I love the series, it had to get in there. I can only pick one game from each franchise. Again, so if you've sort of looked at it and gone, oh, why wasn't this game in there? But there was another one from the franchise in there. That's why it made it. This one was so hard to pick my favourite out of the series. Gran Turismo 2 on the PlayStation 1. Oh my word. I remember when it came out, I remember showing my dad the game. I was that impressed with it, and sort of going, Dad, look at this. And both was like, oh my word, graphics are never going to get more realistic than this. It's a tough play nowadays because of that very reason. The graphics have not aged well, but what has aged well is the handling and the gameplay. It's still absolutely phenomenal. The content as well, the amount of content on a PS1 game. It was the first ever, not technically a double disc game, because it was 2 separate games, but it was the first ever double discer I owned on the PS1. And I just remember sitting there for hours. And there was a game, a level on it where you had to play for, I think it was 24 hours. I think you had to do the Paris-Dakar 24-hour thing. I can't quite remember now. But I remember sitting there and not wanting to turn my PlayStation off, with my mum and dad having a go at me, going, "You're using electricity." It was like, well, I need to finish this game so I can move on. Yeah, what a game! Proper a grinder of a game, but what a game! Absolutely fantastic. Number 2 of my favourite 30 PlayStation exclusives of all time, Gran Turismo 2. So, what's made the top spot? It'll be quite easy to guess. As I say, none of the franchise have made this list so far, and it's a PlayStation staple. I would say that the main character from it is iconic when it comes to the PlayStation system. It is, of course, Little Big Planet 2. Yeah, Little Big Planet 2. Little Big Planet was a great game, absolutely fantastic for the PS3. They did a PS Vita of it, version of it as well, which I didn't really rate. Not PS Vita, PSP. Yeah, but then they did Little Big Planet 2, which sort of improved the original design of creating your own levels. And again, it's all about creativity. It's all about fun. It improved on Little Big Planet to me. Little Big Planet 3 went downhill, sort of ended the series. But obviously there's a few more games after that, like the racing one, and there's been a Sackboy game for the PS5, which I'm not really that fussed about. But Little Big Planet 2, for me, was absolute perfection. And the amount of hours, not just in playing the game, not just in creating my own levels, but in going online and playing other people's levels and seeing what was achievable if you put enough time into the game and if you open your brain up to different ideas. Someone made like a kart racer game on it, but like to do with the Star Wars universe, like what's it called, where they were going around in the track like fighting each other. They made a version of that from where Anakin was a little kid. I forget the name of it. But, sorry, I've got brain fog because of this blooming flu. So yeah, I remember my mate making that, and that was my friend, who I considered to be not an idiot, but I definitely didn't have it in him to go like, "Blooming heck, how have you made that? You flunked school, look what you're doing here." So yeah, it's that sort of thing where it opens up your creativity, opens up your ability to think outside the box and make amazing things. And for me, my favourite game of all time, and the game that took the most time away from me, I suppose I'd say, was, for the PlayStation 3, Little Big Planet 2. Oh. Well, anyway, that's been my favourite 30 PlayStation exclusives. I know there's going to be games I haven't mentioned. As I said, there's games I haven't played. There's games I just didn't like. There's games that are in the franchise, but I could only pick one from a franchise. So if you've got any other suggestions, games for me to try. Maybe there's games I just haven't tried yet. Maybe there's games I've bought for future pickups that will be coming out. So hopefully I won't have to go out and buy them. But if there's anything out there that you think I need to try, maybe not PS5 at the moment because they're still quite expensive for me. But yeah, if there's anything else you think I should try, please pop it in the comments and let me know what you think about my list as well. Anyway, it's been Donald Mackerel for Donald Mackerel Gaming. See you soon, everybody. Cheers.